Hey, good morning. It's Tim O here. It is Friday, July 31st, the last day of the month. We're going into August. The summer is like kind of flying by, but I am having fun, so I can't complain. It's been a pretty good summer thus far. It's good to have our little granddaughter with us, and that's a blessing. She'll be going home August 11th, so I think we have her for at least one more time, maybe two, one more Saturday. So we'll plan something nice. Today I wanted to talk about letting it go. We keep a lot of stuff from the past. Sometimes the past rules our lives. Sometimes it dictates the future, and sometimes we stay stuck in the past and we can't get out of it. Or we hold resentments. We um, we hold hatred, we hold remorse, and a series of other things. And it's hard to let things go. I realize that because it was hard for me to let things go. I wanted to keep things, as we say, I was going to take them to the grave with me. But I started to hear some logic that, like, maybe the things that I was holding on to and not sharing with people or letting go from my life, maybe they were the very things that were really causing me pain, that were causing me the frustration of why I couldn't get clean and sober, or why I was carrying around anger and living in fear all the time. I really had to look at that. And letting go is the pathway towards surrender. And for a guy, or a lot of people in my generation and generations before, and probably now, but I don't know, I'm an older guy, and this generation is more open to a lot of things. But the word surrender, that meant you were weak. That meant that you were like, certain derogative names that we have called. And I seen what surrender can really be. Surrender to win, as they say. Surrender to grow. Surrender to become a different person than the person that maybe went on for a lot of years in our lives. And it really is a great self-help and spiritual growth thing to do. Um, it teaches us that surrender can be a technique, not some word that just gets cast upon us and that we're weak or that we're not men. And this goes for women too. I'm just saying, I know that men in my era were never surrender, never give up, never lay down. And those, I mean, those still are valid to some days. But, sometimes when these negative emotions come in and we can't let them go, we can't surrender them to either a higher power or just surrender them to the universe or just let them go from us, they make us like overthink things. They make us get crazy in our head. And after time, after years, and as age, gains, they make us bitter. And they make us shut down. And they make us cold. Have you ever heard somebody say, wow, that Tim is a cold son of a bee? Or whatever name you want to put on it. And for me, letting things go gave me an inner peace. And they gave me a chance to focus on my feelings. And instead of getting lost in these endless thoughts and stories that sometimes get embellished because we believe these things sometimes, and sometimes we believe the lies, and then the lies start to become truths, and we start to believe this stuff. I started to stop that. It's not all about the past, it's about now. And I began to focus, not entirely, but pretty much, on the physical feeling of emotions. Because we were taught not to feel. Don't take it out of the house. Don't ever say anything. What's going on in this house? Don't feel that. Don't feel that emotion. You got to be tough. You got to be hard. You got to be cold. And you got and with that you got to rot from the inside. To be quite honest with you, I didn't know what emotions meant, and I felt them. I felt them a lot, but I had to suppress them, keep them down, never show them. And if you did show them, you were told you were weak. That stuff's crazy, man. I needed to focus on my emotions. I needed to see who I really was and find out who I really was. And to see by letting them emotions out doesn't mean you're not a man or a woman. It means that you're a human being. And human beings have feelings and emotions. And they make mistakes. And so on and so on. So I stopped resisting this stuff. Stop resisting, like shedding some tears. I went through a lot, and I sucked everything up, man. And I'll be honest with you, as time goes on, it starts coming out, and it comes out in anger. It can come out in violence. It can come out in frustration. I just stopped fighting what was in me. Because I wasn't me. I wasn't this person that I made myself into. This judging, looking at everybody else, looking at the color of the skin, or what your sexual preference was, or all this stuff that I grew up with. I'm not saying those, that's what they grew up with. My parents, the neighbors. And I try to change that. And little by slow, I did change. I don't look at everybody as different from me. Because who am I? I'm pointing fingers, man. There's 3 pointing back at me. Who am I to judge you? To judge how you live? To judge what you feel and what you desire and what you love? That's craziness, man. I gotta focus on me and keep my side of the street clean and stay in my lane. And when I do that, things get a hell of a lot easier. I'm not sitting there looking at anybody and judging them and doing that stuff. I love talking to people of all races, of all ethnics, sexual preferences. I don't care. It's whatever gets you through this life, rock on, brother and sister. That's just the truth. But that's me. I know that that's not everyone, but that's me. Because I grew up in a very judgmental world, and I point fingers at people. And you know, once addiction took over, then I was blaming everybody but myself. And there may have been things that steered me down that road, but I'm the one that took the shit. I'm the one that ingested it. I'm the one that acted out, and I'm the one that had to pay the consequences for it. And mostly, if not a lot of them, were from my actions. And you know what? When I started to let things go and started letting them pass by, I was allowing feelings to exist within me. I was really, you want to find yourself, people say? I started to find myself. I started to feel that energy of what, of just naturally just charging these emotions and allowing them to leave me and then become a part of me, meaning the emotional part. But allowing those things that ruled my life to just fade away And it took time. Nothing worth doing happens overnight. I just practiced that, and people taught me about, the emotional release method. And if you want to look that stuff up, man, it's easy to understand and apply to your daily life. And, normalizing the emotions, encouraging people to accept. This thing is like, it encourages people to accept unattractive feelings like anger, guilt, fear, rather than hiding them, rather than stuffing them down, rather than letting them eat you alive from the inside out and become hateful, become resentful, and everything that goes behind it. And since I've been able to practice this, and this happened when I got in recovery. Listen, getting sober and clean, that was just part of the thing. Those things that I did, those drugs and alcohol, that was like an escape hatch that I went down so I could emotionally not feel. And that's what those things do to you. They give you this false sense. But inside, you're a raging maniac. And then these things bring it out in you. They bring that side out in you because they suppress all the stuff that may have happened to you or that you have done or whatever. And you can't get that stuff out. So it comes out in anger, frustration, violence, suicide, jail terms. Today, I'm walking out into the world part of the solution and not the problem. I feel lighter. Last couple days, I don't know what it was. Just not feeling too good. Feeling a bit up in my head. But you know what? I talked to my girlfriend who was also in recovery, Carol. I talked to others. I walked with my buddy Jim. I went to meetings all week. And right now, going into the weekend, I feel calmer. And I feel a bit freer because I practice these things that I have learned in recovery. And I practice the art of surrender. I don't have to sit with these feelings in some pity pot of misery. I can get rid of them. I can surrender them, even if surrendering means just talking to somebody. Surrender it to the universe. Get it out of you. And it might not help right then, but it will. Because when you keep things in the dark, things of that nature die when they're brought to the light. And if you can do that, you'll be doing yourself a great benefit. And the ones you love a big favor. Because they suffer along with you. Because they either have to watch it, they have to see your actions, they have to feel the impact of your actions, or they have to take on the brunt of what your actions may bring. Don't let that happen to you, because it doesn't have to. There is a light beyond the darkness. So, if you like this video, please drop it a like. And if you can share this with anyone that may be going through this stuff, or that may be in that storm, or just that stubbornness that is making them bitter and shameful and harmful, please share it with them. Thank you. I hope you have a great Friday, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Be well. Thank you.